Section 1. The Simple Truth. Beyond the myth of magic money. Myth? Bitcoin is just magic internet money appearing out of thin air. Fact? Bitcoin is a groundbreaking digital money system built entirely on code and on mathematics. It is not like the paper bills in your wallet or the metal coins in your pocket. It exists as a purely digital asset, a new form of property you can own and control without a traditional intermediary. This system was first described in a white paper released in 2008 by a person, or perhaps a group of people, under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. The network itself came alive in January 2009, offering a new way to think about value and trust. So, what exactly is Bitcoin? At its core, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It allows you to send value directly from one person to another, anywhere on the planet, using the internet. Imagine sending an email, but instead of information, you're sending actual value. The transactions are not processed by a bank, or a credit card company, or any central authority. Instead, the global Bitcoin network validates and confirms each payment. This decentralized verification is fundamental to its design. It solves a critical problem in digital money, preventing someone from spending the same digital coin more than once. That's the double spend problem. The absence of a central authority is a radical departure from every financial system we've known. For most of history, money was issued and controlled by a central power, like a king, a government, or a central bank. Section 2. The Digital Ledger. How the blockchain works. The technology that makes Bitcoin possible is called the blockchain. You can think of the blockchain as a special kind of public accounting book. You can also think of it as a ledger. Every single transaction that has ever occurred on the Bitcoin network is recorded in this ledger. This ledger is not kept in one place, like a bank's central server. Instead, thousands of copies are distributed. Those copies live across a global network of computers. These computers are often called nodes. Nodes all maintain and update the same shared ledger. This distribution is what makes the system decentralized. It means there is no single point of failure or control. Each new batch of transactions is bundled together into what is called a block. Once a block is filled with transactions and verified, it is cryptographically linked to the previous block. That linking forms a chain. Each block contains a secure reference to the one that came before it. That creates an immutable chronological record. Because of this interlocking structure, changing a transaction in an old block is practically impossible. You would have to change that block and every subsequent block on thousands of computers at once. That would require an unimaginable amount of computing power. This makes the history of transactions permanent and transparent. The process for agreeing which new block gets added is called proof of work. That job is performed by miners. Miners are specialized computers. They run all over the world. They compete to solve a complex mathematical puzzle. The puzzle is hard to solve but easy for the network to verify. The first miner to find the solution gets the right to create the next block and add it to the blockchain. As a reward for their work, which uses significant electricity and processing power, the successful miner is awarded newly created Bitcoin. The miner also collects the transaction fees from the block they added. This mining process serves two critical purposes. First, it is how new Bitcoins are created and enter circulation in a predictable, controlled way. The total supply of Bitcoin is capped at 21 million. That cap means issuance decreases over time. Second, and more importantly, the immense collective computing power of miners secures the network. It acts as a massive security wall against censorship and fraud. The energy expended in proof of work is what backs the integrity of the ledger, creating digital trust, where none existed before. Bitcoin's unique design offers several powerful advantages. Its most profound benefit is decentralization, not controlled by any single company, government, or individual. A neutral platform resistant to censorship or seizure. Transparency. Addresses aren't directly tied to identities, but all transactions are recorded on the public blockchain for anyone to see and verify. Borderless transfers across the globe without traditional correspondent banking delays and high fees. Finite, predictable supply. Code limits supply to 21 million bitcoins. Scarcity, like digital gold, seen as protection against inflation from printed money. Security, massive miner computational power and strong cryptography. Self-custody, true ownership and control over your funds. A new level of financial sovereignty for the average person. However, these benefits come with significant risks. Volatility. Prices can swing dramatically in short periods. Scalability limitations. The Bitcoin blockchain can only process a small number of transactions per second, which can lead to slow confirmations and high fees during demand spikes. Not ideal for tiny purchases like coffee. Proof-of-work mining consumes vast amounts of energy. Environmental concerns the community is working to address. Finality, there is no undo button. Send Bitcoin to the wrong address or get scammed. No central reversal. Security responsibility falls entirely on the user. Never store it as a digital file on your computer or in the cloud. Safety and a balanced view. Given the high degree of personal responsibility required, understanding how to safely use Bitcoin is paramount. Your access to your Bitcoin is controlled by a special piece of data called a private key. This key is like the secret password to your digital safe. The new frontier is open, but it must be navigated with wisdom.